Hello and welcome to A-FilmTeensFest Q&A. My name is Terry and I'm one of the moderators for today's session. This is my colleague, Jan, up there.
Hey everyone.
We are joined here today by several filmmakers that were kind enough to join us today and answer some of our questions and tell us a little about themselves and a little about their movies. Thank you for making the time for us. For some of us, it may be early. It is for me, so I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Would you be so kind and introduce yourself a little? We can do like a little circle so we know who we are talking to. Who are you? Where do you come from? A little bit about yourself. Whatever you want to share should be fine. Anybody want to start? Or do I pick?
I guess I'll start as the co-host to let everyone in. Hi, my name is Yana Skydan, and I'm a student of audiovisual art at the Salesian University in Opava. And with that, I'll pass the baton on. So anybody wants to introduce themselves as first, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go second then, and then I'm going to pick somebody if nobody finds the bravery. My name is Terry. I'm an illustrator. I'm currently residing in Prague, and I also do lots of things for festivals and animation. And I'm going to pick, unless nobody willingly joins. Let's go with Olga.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Olga Artushevska, and here I'm as director of the film Valera. And also I'm a student of the Kyiv National Cinema, Theater and Television University. So yes, hi.
Hello, hello. Who goes next? Let's go with Marun. Are you ready?
Yes, so I am Marum. I'm from Croatia. I'm 17. I went to FROOM classes and made a few movies. So this one went to your festivals, and I'm happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you here. Next one, last one, Yana.
Yeah, hi. My name is Yana Skydan, and I'm from Ukraine, but right now I study in the UK, in London, and I study filmmaking. And a year ago, I made a film about the war in Ukraine.
Welcome. Also happy to have you here. Is that everybody? That seems to be everybody, right? Nice.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the session should last more or less, be ready for about an hour. So I hope you got something to drink. And we got a lot of questions prepared for you guys because we have watched your movies and we like them very much and we would like to know all about them. So I think we are ready to start. Can we start? Yeah. Okay, let's go. First movie we would like to talk about is War in Ukraine. We got some questions for you, Yana, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie is really, really heavy, but it's also insanely creative, in my opinion. And we got lots of questions for you about how it was made, what made you make it, etc. So my first question would be about the atmosphere and the creative choices you had with it. The nostalgic, cozy atmosphere changing to the danger and the actual events that are happening right now in Ukraine. I wanted to ask you about what was the process behind scripting the documentary, if you had any goals for what you wanted to achieve there.
Originally I wanted to convey the transition that happened for everyone in real life, because it's basically for everyone happened basically overnight. and everyone heard about it before. Everyone heard like about it in the news, but no one actually could believe in it. And when it actually happened, like basically the whole life changed, the whole atmosphere changed for everyone. And my goal was to like show this like sudden transition in the film.
Well, I think it worked very well. When you were scripting the documentary, there was a choice of you at the start of the documentary. You show day-by-day events with some home recordings and stuff like that. It seemed to be an important choice, and I wanted to ask, why was that choice made? Was it to sort of like bring the viewers closer to the events that were happening? Was it to like include the people watching?
Yeah, like for me, I wanted to show the everyday routine of normal life, and I wanted to show how everyone was just taking it only for granted. And the idea was to show how we start to appreciate things only when we lose them. And I thought that probably the countdown would be like perfect to convey this.
Thank you for your answer. When you were planning the documentary, when you were preparing yourself for it, did you have any sources for the footage that you used? Was there some footage that you made yourself, some from friends? I saw some like camera footage as well. Did you have like a system for choosing it? Was there like a limit to certain things, what you would want to show, what you didn't want to show?
Yeah, from the first day of the invasion, I decided to make this documentary, and so for the next 2 months, I was collecting all of the footage, just looking through the newsfeed, looking through like some media, some news, and this way I was collecting all of the footage. And it's really, I just wanted to talk about all of the important events that were happening for the first like 3-4 months of war. And I also was recording my own footage of how my family was dealing with the first week of it, how we didn't know what's gonna happen, and how we just would just go underground just for the safety, and at night or in the morning. And I wanted also to show this film and this experience.
Yeah, the choice of combining your own events right there from your point of view with the general footage was really, really impactful. The documentary, it mentions the fact that people are searching for ways to help, for ways to aid in the effort of protecting the country, and to make it, succeed. Was making the documentary basically your way of doing that? Did you view it as that, or did you view it differently?
I would say for me, documentary was, first of all, for me to express all of the feelings I had back then, to put myself in it. So for me, it can become a little bit easier. But I also would say that I wanted to tell about my own journey, and my aim with this documentary was to spread information about the real events and give my first-hand experience about it. But in order to help our country, like me and my family, we donate money all of the time to help.
Thank you for your answer. That leads me to another question, and that's, do you think that documentaries, the form of a movie you've chosen for this project, do you think it's valuable as sharing information? Do you think it's a format that you enjoy for this kind of goal?
I think that the documentary genre was perfect for this kind of topic, because you can tell about everything, you can show everything through this genre, and overall documentary genre is very flexible, I think. Yes, so I like making documentaries if I actually feel connected to the topic, and this was this case.
Mentioning documentaries, is there any other kind of movie or anything others to shoot that you did or plan to do or would like to do, or are documentaries the thing that you find yourself in?
I don't limit myself only with documentaries because I'm a filmmaking student, so I do lots of kind of type of films, and right now my main focus would be to practice my cinematography skills because I'm also interested in that, and collaborate with other filmmakers because it's really important to find other people who are also passionate about it. And yeah, I'm overall interested in many different genres.
I would be happy to see any of your future movies. If you have any place where people can follow you, any link you want to shout out, any you can give people your email if you want to, up to you. But if you have a website or something, feel free to share that so people can find you, can watch your creations. But I also wanted to ask one more question, and that's something equally useful for others, and that is if you have any tips for people that would want to try their hand at a documentary, anything you've learned during the process, any things to watch out for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the main advice would be for any filmmaker, for any like genre, would be to feel passionate about the topic, because it's always the process becomes much easier, and it becomes more enjoyable. And especially if we talk about documentaries, like it should be a topic that you want to tell about. And I think that if this topic has like a special place in your heart, then like it can become something like powerful and meaningful for other people.
Very good advice indeed. Is there anything else you would like to share about your project, or the links where people can find you?
The links, maybe it's hard to do through the video, but I have an Instagram account, which is basically my name and surname. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be easy to find.
I am not sure, but I think we may be able to share it later under the video when the stream ends, and etc. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your answers, and thank you for making the movie. We enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Since we're doing well on time, could I also ask one question to Yana?
Yeah.
The song at the end had a great emotional impact on me. So I wanted to ask if you could share a bit of background about the song. What cultural significance does it have? And why did you choose this song in particular?
Overall, my whole idea for the documentary started that I wanted to use this specific song because I was inspired by it. And the song is by popular Ukrainian artist called, by popular Ukrainian band, which is called Okanelze. And I originally wanted to make the documentary specifically with this song. And the band gave me permission for that. And I wanted to use all of the footage in order to summarize everything I've told in the documentary. And I wanted at the end to also add like a glimpse of a bright future for Ukraine. Because I think that at the end, like the end and overall is what the viewer memorizes the most about the film. And overall, like the song was like perfect because it was also a dramatic. It was also had this kind of feeling of hope and the feeling of but this like whole dramatic like atmosphere of the song also was perfect for me to like summarize everything, I think.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. We are doing good on time. Well, another set of questions we can't use because unfortunately Niamh couldn't make it. So,
I guess we can move to Stick Hit the Fan.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, sure. And if we have time, we can circle back.
Yeah, if you guys remember anything, we're gonna have time to do another round.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
So, hi, Marul. I understand you're a representative from FROOM.
Yes.
With the film Stick Hit the Fan. Before getting to the movie, I would like to ask a question about FROOM. If I understood it correctly, it's a Croatian educational institution for young people focused on filmmaking. Is that right?
Yes, it's basically like a workshop that happens every year. So it's been going on for 11 years now, and it's for kids from 8 to 17 years old. And we have like a week to discuss movies and make our own movies. So that's how I made mine.
That's quite interesting. So let's move to the movie itself, and let's start with a sort of lighthearted question, maybe a bit personal one. The main character of Stick Hits the Fan is obsessed with snacking. Is it based on a real person, you know?
Well, not really. I wouldn't say that the main character is actually addicted to snacking, but it's rather a metaphor for all addictions, especially in the situation of when it puts other people in danger. So when it was the COVID outbreak, we couldn't really deal with our addictions like snacking because we would need to put down our masks, and that would put other people like in danger. So that's why everybody was upset when she was eating all the time.
Following on that, is the situation of Stick Hitting the Fan, or let's say the vulgar version of it, based on personal experience?
Oh, well, yes, because in school everybody was also, the teachers especially, were very upset about the pandemic and very strict about how we should wear our masks. Through the mask should be all over our nose and mouth as well. So it was a difficult situation because the COVID just started, so we didn't know much about it. So we needed to be careful, but also it was a bit too much. It was The filming was at the end of the first wave, so we the situation kind of settled down, but not really. So we needed to be careful in some way.
It's true that this is shown wonderfully through the footage of the person taking down their mask so they can snack.
Yes.
Could I ask what was your role in the filming of Stick Hit the Fan?
I was the boss. I was like a support actor, so I wasn't really the main, but I also did some kind of preparation for the idea and how we will make our scenes, but my main was an actor. So
when it comes to FROOM, do you sort of have set roles, or since you said it's just 1 week, right?
yes.
So do you have like set roles that get decided at the beginning, or is it like more natural, creative?
It's more natural for like the older kids. It's very easy for us because we just get an idea and we try to make it work through a movie, but we just have 1 week to film it all, and it's difficult because we don't have much time. So the most time goes basically on making that idea possible for us to film.
How would you describe your experience of working in just 1 week and with, do you know the people beforehand, or do you meet for the first time?
We meet for the first time, but I know one guy that was with me, and I know him from before, but most of the people I meet for the first time. So that is a big part of it because you need to get to know each other. And but I was on FROOM like 2 or 3 times, so you get used to it. By as much as you go, it gets easier. So we we did it, and it was kind of stressful because we finished shooting like last day, but it turned out good.
That's great to hear. As you said, it was filmed at the end of the first wave of the COVID pandemic.
Of the pandemic, yes.
Yeah. Were there any sort of problems that arose from this, or how much did it impact the shooting of the film?
Well, there weren't any problems, but when we entered the building in which we were filming, we had to like wear mask and check our temperature, so that was a part of it. But that anybody got sick, no, and it was just it gave us an inspiration for making the movie, so it turned out to be a good thing actually.
When it comes to camera work, there are some what I would say are complex and quite impressive camera angles. How long did you spend on shooting as compared to, for example, preparing? And was there any particularly difficult shots to take?
Okay, so the shots were it was a lot of trial and error, so we needed to shoot a lot of things, and we even did some takes twice or 3 times to so in the post production it would be easier to cut all together. And I mean the maybe the most difficult shot was when the stick is falling down to the ventilation. It was in slow motion, and we needed to throw it perfectly to the camera, and it's physics. We can't do anything about it. So that was the hardest part. But other things not so difficult. I mean, we did the shooting in 2 or 3 days, and we did it like I don't know 4 or 5 hours a day. So we had a lot of scenes that we needed to do twice or much more time. And also it was a problem when we came to the workshop with different clothes, so but it's minor error, so it happens everywhere.
Yeah, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. That's true. So how was the time allocated since you shot it in 1 week? You said that there was 2 or 3 days of shooting days. How long did it take to prepare, and how long did the post-production take?
So we had like 5 weeks, and we could start the first day if we got an idea, but most of our times just went to getting an idea possible. We had at the beginning of the week we had a totally different idea for the movie, but we ended like shooting the last 2 or 3 days, and then the production was 6 months, I think, or maybe even more, because it went on YouTube in the summer of the next year. So a lot of work is actually done in the production, and we just do the filming. So we do the easier part, but still.
All right. Were there any filmmakers that inspired your work that you, for example, said as a crew, Wes Anderson or anybody like that?
I don't remember really, but maybe Wes Anderson. He is similar to our work, but I would say the whole situation we were in just gave us an idea for the film. So
There was one shot that I found extremely funny when the guy slides from beneath the curtains.
oh, that was me.
Yeah. How did you come up with that idea? Because that was amusing as hell.
I don't know. I don't remember, but the whole idea of the boss was like that he couldn't be understand, and he would just come in the way of that addiction. So he would give her some paperwork, and it was like I had to wear a mask and then another mask and glasses and a suit. So that was maybe a difficult shot to film also, but I don't remember how we got that idea. The whole place that we were filming had a lot of those curtains, so we needed to have some funny in there, not to be too serious.
How did you enjoy being an actor, especially in such a awesome movie?
Well, I do acting like in my free time. I go to an acting school, so it wasn't anything new for me. But there were some situations where you need to like feel uncomfortable or something like that, or just put yourself in a uncomfortable situation. But it's what actors do.
So, would you have any advice for young people that want to get either into acting or into film production?
So I would say that you need to go to as much workshops as you can and to as much classes or casting, because it will open up a lot of opportunities for you. For me, example, I went to FROOM, and a few weeks ago I was in Brussels on a film festival, and I met there a lot of directors and actors and other filmmakers, young filmmakers from Europe. So it was a great experience. And also with my acting classes, I have gone to uh, an Erasmus project, and we got some students from the Slovenia, and we made our own play. So just push yourself into situations that can make you meet new people and new opportunities.
I think that's some wonderful advice, and I'm really looking forward to your future work. If you, where could we follow you? Some social media or anything?
So FROOM has Facebook and Instagram, I think, but it's called the Shadowcasters, Basachi Cienka, and on YouTube also it is FROOM, FROOM, but with 3 O's and an exclamation mark.
That's great to know, because when I tried to search FROOM on Google, I couldn't find anything. So
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear about it.
on FROOM is the part of an organization, Shadowcaster. So if you search Shadowcasters, then that's the bigger organization that is organizing FROOM and other things.
Right. Is there anything you would like to add?
Mm,
Comment on anything?
not really.
Terry, do you have any questions?
I think I got all of mine answered. Okay. It's good to have somebody, different people from different branches of filmmaking. That we have an actor, we have a director. There's so many cool things we can learn. Yeah. All right, and like we said, we might have time at the end to do another round. If you guys remember anything you wanted to add, feel free to. But we have one more movie we wanted to talk about, and that's a movie called Valera.
Yeah, hi.
Oh.
Let me introduce myself again. Olga Artushevska, filmmaker from Ukraine. I'm sorry, do you hear me okay? Yeah?
Yes, all fine.
Okay. Finally. Yes, I'm a director of the film Valera.
Nice to meet you. Well, we have lots of questions for you, because the movie was... I was blown away by the quality of it. Everything felt top notch, and I got lots of questions about that. So I'm happy to have you here. But first off, because the movie, like, it hit me as a passion project. Maybe I'm wrong, but it really did feel like nobody slacked and everybody did their best. And I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about filmmaking itself, and what does it mean to you, and what do you put into it to make something like that?
Thank you very much. So, to be honest, I always think that, art should bring you happiness, inspiration, and make you want to live. And from childhood, like mother teach me always. So whatever I do in my life, I'm trying to do it with love and happiness, to bring happiness for me and for other people. So in filmmaking too, and I really can realize my life without filmmaking. And always when I make some film, I made it with love and I'm trying to share this love with people. So yes, it's really passion every time.
Happy to hear that. I think it was very visible through the movie, at least for me, that
Thank you.
was a passion project.
Thank you.
Speaking of like having that love for a project you're doing, several of you mentioned it already, that the things we make with love turn out to be better. I wanted to ask you about, like, what was the idea behind this project? Like, how did it come to be? Where did that like spark come from? If it was like a personal experience, a newspaper or news on TV or something that gave you the idea for the plot of the movie, and what made you decide that this is something you're gonna pour yourself into?
This is one of my favorite stories because it's kind of fun. One day, my family and I were back to home, and I saw the man which looking for something in a trash bin. And when we were near him, he took out the flowers from trash and trying to give it to us. So this is real first scene in the film. It's real. So in a few minutes, when we finally back home, I already had in my head full completed story about this man. So always, no, as usually in my films, sparkle is real people or real moments from my life which I created and changed in a full story. Yes.
Inspiration comes from people. Yeah. It's incredible to hear that the first scene from the movie is actually based on real events.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the characters when we're there. Like the name is movie. The name of the movie is after one of the characters, and the characters were really fleshed out. They felt really real. There was not a moment in the time that I was watching the movie where I was like, oh, I'm watching a movie. I was like, who are these people? Hello, nice to meet you. So I wanted to ask a little bit about them. What do they mean to you? And was it something that you made on your way home as well as you were fleshing out the story behind them?
Oh, thank you. Firstly, it's a really great actors. I adore them, and they are really stars, and I'm happy that they agreed to take a part in my film. So, and maybe about casting, how I pick them. Always when I write my scripts, I clearly see who I want to take a part in this role. So it's not a big casting every time because I already know who I want to see. And in this movie was the same story. When I finished write a script, I just give it to my producer, and my producer sent it already to actors, and fortunately them agreed. Despite they're really big top stars, famous actors in Ukraine, and not only in Ukraine. They just read the script, tell me that, wow, it's cool, it's really worth it, and just, okay, I need to find my time, let's go. So yes.
That must be a dream to get the exact casting you were dreaming of. I'm so glad.
I'm really lucky. Because every time, I can see some actor for this role, and I just hear some song from famous band in a film, and I'm not waiting because I'm only a student or not famous filmmaker still. I'm just trying to do it now, and I just ask for permission, and I'm lucky that people agreed after read my stories.
That's a great tip and wisdom to give to other creators, not even filmmakers, but general creators, to not wait for things, but try them.
Yeah.
Apparently it works.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm glad you got the exact casting that you were looking for, the exact actors. But what was the process behind fleshing out their characters? What was the symbolism behind them also? Like they visibly have a specific traits and specific place in the story. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course, sorry, I forgot about it. You know, when I saw this man near the trash bin, I just see some details, and I just started mixing some, I don't know, things from life which is around me every day, which I see, which I can read in the stories, which I can hear in the transport, subway, buses, you know, and like creating some I don't know, emploi of several worker, like this. So I can't explain now how I created it part to part, step by step, but it's every time like created from some things which is fully in my life. I don't know. That's like, you know, my master always said that the main part in scriptwriter's work it's like observe. So every day I observe, trying to see all the details, hear how people say, how specials and specifications they have. And it's all every time helps me create my heroes to fest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My
It's
life experience, yes.
yeah.
From each spheres, because I have really interest in life. And now it's also a war, so new experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we are sponges. We do soak in what's around us, and if you're able to take that inspiration from anywhere around yourself and then shape it into something that's really, really wonderful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Try and do it every day in FROOM war. Yes.
Yeah.
So to be honest, you know, like a year ago in March, when I made the decision to stay at home in Kyiv, like my family and I, no, mom, sister, and I went to the territorial defense, but they didn't want like us to take a part officially because fortunately there were a lot of men, but we helped like what we can do is like every day going to check in our streets, and we found it like 3 bombs, you know, in our area. So yeah, this is also experience.
Yeah, all of it is an experience.
Yeah. At least I like live over the war, the blackout, the COVID, so I have a lot to read.
Well, we are very glad that we can have you here right now and hear you beautifully.
Thank you.
I just ask about the actors a lot. I also wanted to ask about the message behind the movie. If it's, did you feel like you were like documenting your experiences, or were you also like placing in some messages, something? Basically, did you have a plan for how you wanted the viewers to feel after watching the movie? Any messages you wanted to implant in them?
So it's a completely fiction story, and the main message is like, you know, we should always remember that firstly we are a people, and we should be honest to ourselves and to other people. Like whatever you are, you should be honest. Like, look at this man Valera. He's a middle worker. He lost his main job and he lost some interest in life, but he understands that he can't like live in lie, and exactly this thing gave him a chance finally. to start something new, to like refresh, you know. And it's all because he's kind and he has inner wells.
Yeah, the topic of greed and like material ownership versus what's actually the qualities that are inside of us. That was a very heavy topic in the movie, I feel like.
Thank you.
That was visible. So, yeah.
Also asked about how I wanted to people feel. So as always, I want to bring some happiness and some, you know, like fresh bread. So I wanted to people feel like after a movie like a new story too, you know, like refresh, like each of us have a chance for something. So yeah, that's
well, yeah, it did leave that even though the characters had several flaws and the movie itself was it could have been viewed as grim, it did leave me with a very hopeful and nice feeling after watching it. It did leave me with a hope for people generally, so that was very, very nice.
It's really important words for me, and I really thank you.
I also wanted to ask you a little bit about like the technical parts of the movie, because it felt like, again, it was shot very precisely. There was great work with light, with colors. The dreamy sequence was very, very nicely done. And I wanted to ask you about some challenging parts of the movie. Like, is there any specific techniques or maybe struggles you had, something you tried for the first time? Anything interesting that you want to share about the technical side of the filmmaking?
Yeah, thank you very much. So, as always, the most difficult part was time, of course, because as I told earlier, main casting, these actors are really famous and top stars, so they have really hard schedules like theater, cinema, shooting, television, and others. So we shooted this film in 3 days. Only 3 days, and now when I look back for it, I'm like, what? How can we do it? But actually it's real. And the time, yes, it was the most difficult part. About another things, of course, I always have some mistakes because I'm only learning, but there's no like things or troubles which we can't solve. so we always try to do it all. Yeah. About lights, color, and cinematography, I don't know what to say. I just created this world in my head. I always don't have some references. I'm always trying to create from like zero, from empty, and this is what you see on the screen.
Beautiful, beautiful. I had a thought and I just lost it. Oof. Yes, I wanted to ask if did you know ahead of time that you're gonna have just 3 days to shoot this?
Yeah.
Just how did you prepare for that? I'm assuming that you had to have like everything cleared. Was there any improvisation? Did you like change plans last minute because something happened?
It's my brilliant producer, which is also AKA my mom. So, I just know that she's a human who I can trust, and I always know if we work together, like all be done, and I can worry only about directing, and she's really great producer. So yeah, we prepare. Like we I can't remember, maybe we preparing it in a few months, and like we created a schedule for every situation, and always when we prepare it to plan for shooting day, we also take some, much more time for surprises, so it works. Yeah. Oh, Teresa?
Oh, seems we might have lost Terka, so
Yeah.
I'll take over for a bit until she returns. I want to ask about your use of mirrors. Since there are some shots with mirrors, I want to ask, is it done for practical reasons, because of the location, for example, for aesthetic reasons, or did you try to create some meaning for the usage of mirrors?
So thank you. It's a really interesting part of production too, because this was filmed in a real flat where a real human lives. So it's really, to be honest, it's so small, and our team of like about 15 people like trying to be in there in small area. And when we were in location check, we saw these mirrors, and me and my director of photography decided to like use it in our film, because screen language, mirrors and other. So this is partly was location and our improvisation. Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. Terka is here, so I'll let her take over again.
Sorry about that. I heard everything. I just froze. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Yana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I did hear, so I didn't miss anything, thankfully.
Thank you.
But I had one last question, and that was maybe something you're like extremely proud of. Like, what was something in the movie that like exceeded your expectations? Something that you wanted to point out as, your baby.
Yeah, the main thing is the laugh. When I heard when I listened people laughing in while screaming, I'm really happy, because as I told earlier, it's the main thing. And when absolutely strangers after the film find me and tell me like, wow, cool film, I like your film, it gives me a hope, it gives me some good emotions. I'm really the happiest human ever. And I also have a fun story about it, because now the film Pamphir coming out is a big work from famous Ukrainian director Dmytro Sukhulitky-Sobchuk. And my colleagues told me a story like when they were in this film screen. Alexander Yarema, the main actor in Valera, which played Valera, he is also there in Pamphir. So when Alexander Yarema appeared appeared on the screen while the Pamphir, some people in hall started shout like, "Oh, look, it's Valera!" And it's like really fun to me, because people see a hero in a big famous film and recognize him as a hero from my short, and it really gives me a hope, and I think it's kind of fun. Yeah.
That must be amazing. I'm so happy that happened.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Would you also like to share any of your socials, anything where we can find you, or maybe even if you have some future projects you're planning or working on?
Yeah.
If you want to share that.
After Valera, I already had 2 films, 2 shorts, and now I'm working on my master's diploma film. It's now on a script. So yeah, about my socials, of course, I had like official websites like IMDb, Film Freeway, but when I update my information, it's Instagram and Facebook. Yes, so
Got it.
Facebook name and Instagram is Zoliander, how my family.
Yes. Got it. Yeah, we will probably manage to put those links under the video as well.
Thank you.
And yeah, anything else you want to share with us? Maybe we can do the second round if you guys wanna. If you thought of something you would like to tell us about, or if we remembered some questions that we wanted to ask about, we can do that right now.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I didn't say beginning because I like sound. So animation in festival is amazing, and you told that you did it I adore the intro. It's really.
Oh, no, not me. This for this specific intro, but we will convey that to the author. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Still, thank you. Still, thank you.
I want to ask one more question of you, Olga. Since I'm also focused on directing, and the leading of actors seem to be supreme when it comes to your film, I wanted to ask if you could share some of your directing techniques with us, possibly, if it's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret at all, because and also I'm still learning for it, because my master said, and I see that, work with actors now is my big weak place. I don't know, I still learning. So how I work with them, I just always speaking with them about the role, about the character, and I'm trying to give him this mood, this impulse, and after it I gave them permission for improvisation. Like, guys, here I like you to say that exactly like in script, but other words you can save the say the full mind, but you can tell it like you feel it. So I've always given place for space for improvisation. I'm always trying to do it in script. We always have some plan, but it's really important to me that actors be honest, be true on the screen, like how they feel these characters. Yeah.
I think that's a great approach and a great advice for people who want to start or get into directing.
Thank you.
So
beautiful. Mm-hmm.
We can probably do another round, or if you guys have any questions. I'm not sure if you've seen each other's films.
Unfortunately, no, but now after this interview, I really want to see it.
If you had any questions for each other, since you didn't see the films, it cannot be probably focused on the movies. However, if you'd like to ask us colleagues any questions.
Yeah, I have a question. I actually seen the film Valera, and I have a questions about the process of pre-production of finding the locations and props and maybe costumes.
So costumes is by me and my producer. We found it in secondhand, the best place, Humana. Okay, about pre-production locations, just I live in Kyiv all my life, almost, and just when you know your city, you always created your stories here. You already know when you see it, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, thank you.
If I can add something, I don't know if you know that we have all our films with Ukrainian subtitles. Do you know that or not?
No, I didn't know. But
yes,
all
our festival films, what means all our almost 170 films, have Ukrainian subtitles. So we would be very grateful, because still we have 1 week to go till the end of our festival. If you could be so kind, and if you could let know your, I don't know, colleagues in your film schools or friends and so on, that they can watch the films with all films that we have with Ukrainian subtitles, because we try to spread out this information, to our Czech schools, I mean elementary schools and the grammar schools, but Still, I have to say that we are not that lucky to reach that much audience for that. And I have to say, to produce the Ukrainian subtitles, it was quite much more demanding than to produce Czech subtitles and or English that we did not have, because and actually it was even financially most demanding, to find the right people who will translate, who know how to produce these subtitles, because usually there are people who live in Czech Republic from Ukraine. So if you could help with that, we would be just very happy. And you can also watch yourself our other films that I think they are very good or excellent. So please, we will be just happy if you could do that.
It's really cool. I will share it with my friends and colleagues. I know it's really great idea for them. So yeah.
Yeah, we tried, because for example, in Mladá Boleslav is one of towns that we do the physical events in cinemas. They opened the elementary school for 800 Ukrainian pupils. What means for kids between 6 and 15, 16 years of age, because to that town where is Škoda car company came so many refugees with their families that they needed to open to reconstruct the special building last summer, 2022, and opened the special school, the special elementary school only for Ukrainian children and youth. So just and 800 kids are over there. So what I wanted to say, that when we got to know that kind of big school was open, and it's special building and with special teachers and so on, so we said ourselves it really makes sense to produce also Ukrainian subtitles, and also for the others. We informed Ukrainian embassy and all the other groups of Ukrainian people. What you can imagine, there are many in our countries these days. So, but yeah, we would like to continue still more.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your help.
Yeah,
Amazing. Thank you.
we are happy to do that.
Yeah,
And
thank
I
you.
have to say, we are proud about that we are the only festival in Czech Republic who does that. So,
Yeah. Thank you. This is the first time in my life, like when I see the Ukrainian subtitles in every film. Like, cool. Thank you.
yeah, I guess, to be honest, I did not support Ukraine that much during the war. Not a little bit, but not much as I, for example, would imagine or would like, because I had a lot of work. But at least this way, I guess it's also at least certain support. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank
And
you.
and
And
we
support
really
is really important. So yeah,
and I hope Ukraine will win.
yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
I believe. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, sure. You are, I mean, I cannot imagine that, for example, our Czech people will be that brave as they are brave Ukrainian people. It's really unbelievable.
Thank
We
you.
Yeah.
are really happy to have you here, and the subtitles are just a little part that we can do, and we are really happy and glad that we can have you here, all connected smoothly, except for me, and hearing everybody wonderfully.
Thank
Is there something that you guys remembered? Any last questions that you would like to ask each other or us, or
you.
anything you would like to share?
I'm done.
Was very exhausting. Yana, anything?
Nothing from me. So I guess since we're reaching the 1 hour mark, we can wrap this up. It has been really wonderful to meet all of you, at least online. It would be great to meet all of you one day in person. Your films were truly great, and we appreciate them. Thank you for the Q&A as well. I think it has been a fruitful one. We are definitely looking forward to your future work. Certainly, please send us links for your social media or anything where we can watch your future so that we can put them under the video afterwards. And that's about it. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
happy to have you met here.
Thank you. Thank you, Liam.
Good luck with your future projects. And
Thank
stay safe, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, see you, everybody.
See you.
See you.
Bye.